I'm again on the path to our local forest, and it was raining overnight, and it's still that's very light rain, and I'm on my way to film for me one of my favorite animals, which are fire salamanders, and it's also the season of wild onions. The fire salamanders are mostly active at night or in the rain, or when it's very wet and moist like it is today. As it's still slightly raining, I expect for them to be out in vast numbers in this part of the forest where I'm now. There was a clearing made just last year. A little further up, it's a valley which in this time of year is completely overgrown with wild garlic or onions. And those onions weren't here as I was a child, but this whole field came to existence in recent years as maybe a seed or something, seedling from these wild onions landed in this valley, and it just spread from there, and now it covers the whole valley. Now that's a kind of pool which, if not dried out in the drought, would serve as an optimal breeding ground or spawning ground for fire salamanders, wild garlic, and the best way, if you're not sure what you have to search for. Basically, the way to identify it is simply by squishing it and smelling it, and it smells as an onion. The second best way maybe is to look for the flowers. These are the flowers of wild garlic and are also edible and also have aroma and taste as a garlic. As you can see, this part of the forest is very green, very light water flow at the moment. The banks of this branch are completely overgrown with wild garlic. And this wild garlic wasn't here 20 years ago. This field spread very fast, and it has become quite known destination for foraging wild garlic. So it is the environment like this creek behind me that is the same creek. It's my hidden sanctuary for European crayfish. It is the perfect place to find fire salamanders now in this moisture in the rain, and I got a very nice specimen here. I think it's a she. As you can see, these animals are not aggressive they have very slow metabolism, so they move very slowly. They're already out immediately after the snow melts. They're not that sensitive to low temperatures. She came here to give birth to live young that live the first stage of their life in the water, feeding on all sorts of invertebrates, and they're being preyed upon also by the dragonfly larvae or water scorpions sometimes. Now these animals are poisonous, not venomous. People usually confuse the two terms. The term poisonous means that the toxin, general term for both venom and poison, is toxin is the combining term, and in this case the toxin will come into your system or enter your system via food, like being ingested or being absorbed through the skin, like with poisonous frog. Even from the distance that I hold it, it could actually squirt the toxin into my eyes or into my mouth. They secrete the toxin which is called Salamanders. This poison is not dangerous to human, not per se. It may irritate sensitive skin. Other than that, their prime defensive for this poison is not to be eaten by other animals. It will surely be a bad taste for any animal or human in the worst case scenario that would attempt to eat it. They secrete this toxin. The local legend was that the yellow spots are poisonous. They have poison ducts on some of the yellow spots, but also on darker parts of their body. So it's not really a rule that the poison ducts are located only on their yellow spots. Most of them are on these bulges around the head, where the animal is most vulnerable. These salamanders are very abundant in this particular forest, even though this forest is actually part of the city center. Now in this weather, one really doesn't have to get very far to find far salamanders in this forest. Yeah, very interesting patterns also. I see some potential mutations. However, most of them are yellow or slightly orangey spots maybe, but there are some weird patterns going on sometimes. Not really much color mutations like they exist in some other location where these animals live. This one here decided to pose. I didn't put it up there, I swear. The fire salamanders definitely are among my favorite animals that can be found in the wild here. People don't really see them very often because they come out in the rain or when it's very moist, like today, and in the night where it's also a lot of moisture. Otherwise their skin will dry out too quickly and they won't be basically able to breathe. They're protected species. They're not so abundant everywhere. Obviously a lot of their habitat has been destroyed. I hope you enjoyed this video. Subscribe for more. Click notification bell to be updated immediately when a new video is uploaded. I will do more in-depth videos for fire salamanders. in the future as I do a little bit more research into more scientific facts and anatomy and life cycles and other aspects of salamanders. So stay tuned for that, and I will do more excursions like today to see as they come out, because I just like to observe them. So subscribe to the channel, stay tuned, and rock on.